Hello everybody, it's Elena, and in today's video we are building this farm that is shared between two different families, and we are building it in the world of Henford-on-Bagley in The Sims 4, obviously. So we are building on a 40 by 30 lot today, and these houses are both pretty big. So the house to the left, which is going to end up being pink, like a pinkish I would say, is a 4-bedroom and 4-bathroom home, and then the house to the right, which is going to end up being yellow, has 3 bathrooms and 3 bedrooms. So I would say that you can live in both of these houses with some pretty sizable families, and that's nice, I guess. So I was kind of picturing these two families being really close, which is why they've decided to live on the same lot together and kind of like share the same farm and just kind of like live together in this way but separately. So I was kind of thinking that maybe one of the parents in each household are either siblings or cousins or maybe just best friends, and they aren't like related by blood, and they've known each other for many years, like their entire lives, and they decided that they really wanted to live like sort of together, or at least close together in their adulthood. So that's why they've decided to purchase this property with their best friend or something and with their respective spouses, and then they are just like doing their own thing, like growing whatever else they're growing here, and they've started their own little respective families together in a way. That was just kind of my thought, and I think that's really cute. It is sort of a thing that I've been wanting to do ever since the new pack, or it's really not that new anymore. I think it's been out for about 3 months for rent. Yeah, it's been out for a while, but it is a thing that I've been wanting to do with it ever since it got announced or something. So I'm glad that I finally got around to doing this shared farm sort of thing. So I'm really happy with the outcome of it, and I hope you all like it as well. And I think that these houses are very cutesy. Of course, as I did mention, the one to the left is going to end up being sort of pink, and the other one is going to be like yellow. So they've got some cutesy pastel colors going on, and there's also a little horse stable, which is, I guess, shared between these two houses as well. So there are 2 horse beds in there, so I'm thinking that that means you can have 2 horses, like one per house, or however you want to split it up. Maybe one of these households likes horses and then the other one doesn't, so one house has 2 horses and the other one does not have any. You know, I don't know how you want to play, but I was just kind of thinking that there's a horse bed for each house maybe. And then there are some chicken coops, 2 of them, and I was sort of thinking that these families like share everything and they don't really like take control over like the crops, and they don't say that I need to get at least this amount of eggs every day and we need to split it evenly. They're just like super chill about it. That was my idea behind it, because they love each other a lot and they're super close and they get along perfectly fine, so it's not like a problem, and they aren't getting into fights every day over what belongs to who. And if some of them wants to do a pie and they need a few extra eggs, the other one just hands them over to them, and then they probably all share that pie, because they're just like one big happy chosen family that all just gets along great, and they just have so much fun and they are happy. Yeah, happiness is good, right? So I've been told, at least. I don't know. I have no way of knowing, I guess. No, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's just so cute, and I really like this idea of communal living. I think that's so cute, and I just feel like these people are loving their lives, and I hope that they get to live this great way together for ever, or at least until the kids are out of the house and stuff like that, and then maybe the parents can move together in some retirement home and just have fun there, and they never have to split up and be on their own. That's my hope for these people. Yeah. I just think that's so lovely, and I really love this idea of like families sticking together, so not everyone is left to fend for themselves and everyone is just helping each other, and then I hope that all of these kids are friends and getting along great, and that's just amazing. I don't know, I think that's adorable and really great in this very individualistic world that many of us are living in, where everyone is just expected to live by themselves or live with their own few people. So it's nice to like make a whole community of people that are loving each other and just having fun and, you know, being great and supportive of one another. That sounds so great, and I love that for these people. Yay, communal living. Sounds fun. I don't know if I would like that personally, because I remember like growing up and I was watching like a lot of TV here in my country about kids who were living in these communal living places, like communities where everyone is just sharing everything and every family is just like living together. And it seemed kind of stressful to me because I'm like super introverted, and the idea of kids from other families just being able to run into my house all the time and me not having anything to myself, because that is what these communal living areas seemed like to me at the time. So I don't think that I personally would love to like live in something like that, but I can definitely see the appeal for a lot of people, especially for people that are just super fed up with this very individualistic world that we are living in, because it is very stressful and sad. And I think that personally I would love to live in a communal living situation such as the one that I'm building today, because that's just like two families that are super close and they know each other's boundaries and they like know everything about each other, so they know not to like do certain things to piss each other off and whatnot. But I think that the idea of living with a bunch of people, like what I was describing that I did not like to watch as a child or whatever, that would just be too much for me, because what I was seeing on TV was these pretty big communal living places where, picture like 3-story houses, like row houses that were all sort of built together, and then the first story of these 3-story houses were sort of just open for everyone to walk through it and for everyone to just do whatever they pleased with it, and then the 2 upper stories were private for the specific individual family that were living in that specific house, right? So that's how it was like shared. And then there were also some community areas that were for everyone, like a big kitchen and a big dining area for everyone to eat in. And I think, like, did I say this, but around 20-ish houses, and everyone was just living together and sharing most things. And then it would be really, really good for like the different families, because if they needed somebody to take care of their child, there would always be someone ready to help them out with that. And that's just so great, because as they say, it takes a village to raise a child and to raise a family. So it's really nice to have people around you that are willing to just like lend a helping hand all the time. That sounds really, really helpful as a parent, you know. But I think for me, what was throwing me off about this as a child was that everyone was just able to walk into the lower floors of your individual house. That was just kind of like stressful to me, because I'm a very private person and very introverted, as I said. So I think that at least throughout my like teenage years, I would have been super anxious and very uncomfortable living in a place like that, because I would have just like craved my own little private space, and I would have craved more just family time with my individual family, because like 20 different families, that's a lot of people, and you probably aren't like super close with every one of them, and you might not really love all of them, you know. It just seems to me that there's a lot of like opportunity for conflict in this situation, because not everyone is on the same wavelength all the time. You can't expect that from people, of course, and then you would be expected to eat together on some days and like eat or like help out with dinner and like just to do things together. And I feel like that would have been a super big commitment for me, and not one that I would have liked to partake in, because I would have just craved more family time with my close-knit family, you know. As a kid, and especially as a teen, that would have just made me so anxious and not feel super great all the time. So that would have been too much for me. But living in like this sort of thing that I'm building today would have been so cool for me, and would be so cool for me in the future, because you know these people so well, and you just like know everything about each other, and you are limiting the possibility for conflicts all the time, because you are just 2 families that get along great, instead of like 20 families that you don't all know super well. I guess, I don't know. That's just how I feel about it. So not even a single person on this planet asked me for my opinion on this, but I think that communal living is a really good idea, but you should probably, in my opinion and how I see it, you should probably keep it to not like a huge community of people, because that could become sort of cultish very quickly, and you should probably partake in the rest of society as well. And then also it's a good thing because you can like help each other out, and you might not be as lonely as a lot of people are in today's hyper individualistic society, where we are kind of living in a loneliness epidemic, you know. So I think that communal living is great for that reason, and it's very un-American, and it seems good and pleasant to me in moderation. Again, not a single person asked me about that, but that's how I feel about it. What do you think of communal living? Is it good or is it not good? Is it a yay or a nay? Why did I start talking about that? I don't know. This was not on my agenda for today's voiceover. It just started happening, and my thoughts on this whole idea just started unraveling, and there's that. Anyway though, so okay, today in this video I decorated the house to the left, which is the pink one, and I decorated it for, you know, there are 4 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms in that one, and I would say that there is room for about 6 people in it. So there's a parent's bedroom with room for 2 people, and there's also another bedroom with a double bed in it. I was either thinking it's for someone that they know really well and is living with them, or it might be a guest bedroom, but there are 2 sleeping spots in that one, and then there are 2 kids bedrooms, and they are both decorated for like kid-sized Sims, so 6 in total. And then the house to the right, I did not decorate that one, but as I said, there are 3 bathrooms and 3 bedrooms, so you can live there with like 4 or 5 Sims. Although I will say that the bedrooms in that house are quite a bit bigger than the ones in the pink house, because I don't know, I feel like the floor plan just made more sense that way. That was just how it worked out. The bedrooms in the pink house are pretty small and cramped together, and then the rooms in the yellow house are not that. Yeah. Very cool. And as you just saw, I did make a pretty sizable garden on this lot where you can grow quite a lot of different crops. There is a lot of room for that, and I just thought that would be nice and fun and fitting since this is a farm, of course. And once again, I was thinking that these 2 households are just sharing all of the harvestables, and none of them are entitled to more than the others for this and this or that reason. They just share everything, and they are so happy about it, and there are no conflicts on this farm. Everyone is happy, and it's so great. Yeah, that's just what I was thinking, but I guess I don't really have much else to say about this build for the time being, so I'm just gonna let it speak for itself. So, I hope you guys are all doing good. I hope that life is treating you all well at the moment. I feel like my voice is sort of like starting to disappear. I don't really know what that's about. I have a feeling that I might be getting a little bit sick, which would be a little bit annoying because I've been feeling very unwell for the past like week or so that would just be the nail on the head for me to get sick, or like even more sick. Yeah, that would be super great. Thank you, body. Anyway though, in this video, I think I just kind of want to sit here and chat about like TV and stuff, because it's been a while since we've talked about that on the channel, so I just kind of want to catch up with you all about it, I suppose, and just kind of talk about what I've been watching, and then you guys can, if you want to, tell me about what you've been watching and maybe leave some recommendations in the comment section. I would really appreciate that, because I'm always looking for new recommendations for fun TV shows or even movies for me to watch, and I think that a lot of other people would probably appreciate it too, so if you want to do that, feel free to. But yeah, so recently, okay, no, I think I want to start off by saying something different, because for the longest time, like for about almost a year, I think this happened in May of last year and now it's March, so about 10 months, I've been wanting to rewatch the sitcom Superstore, which is a like sitcom about people that work in a superstore, like a really big American store that just sells everything. Like anywhere from like groceries to guns, because it's America, you know. Yeah, okay, it's kind of fun, and I really like that show. The vibes are just so fun, and I think it's very cozy, and it's just one of those like sitcoms that I have in my rotation of like shows that I like to rewatch. So I've been wanting to rewatch it for almost a year now, but when I went into try to rewatch it last year, I went on Netflix because I remembered that that was where they had it, but then it was gone, and I was so sad about that. And then I looked at all of the other streaming services that I'm subscribed to, which is HBO Max and Disney Plus, and they did not have it either. And then I just like looked on Google to see if it was streaming anywhere, and it's not streaming anywhere in my country. So it's just so annoying, and it's so sad that these streaming services are just like taking things away whenever I try to watch things, you know. Like I feel like it's so often that I remember some movie or a show that I know was on a certain streaming service at one point, and then I go in and try to search for it, and then it's just gone, and I can't find it anywhere. It's so sad. It really bothers me. So I don't really love the concept of streaming services, but then again, like, it is, I guess, better than having to purchase every single individual season of a show. And wait, oh, sorry. I just paused for a second because I thought my editing software crashed, but I don't think it did. Anyway, okay, we're good. I don't know what happened, but yeah, anyway, I really don't like the thought of having to like purchase every season of a TV show and like every movie individually, because that's also annoying and expensive and whatnot. But it's also just annoying to like just have your things taken away from you when you are paying the same amount of money every month for something, and you don't have any control over what you can watch, really. I don't know, that just bothers me, and it's so sad. And I've just been wanting to rewatch Superstore, and all the time I'm like checking Google to see if it has started streaming anywhere that I'm able to watch it, because I can't find it, and it's just not streaming anywhere, and it hasn't been streaming anywhere for about a year, or maybe even more than that in my country, and it's so sad. I know that it's on Hulu in America, but we don't have that here. And I have, okay, this is like stupid of me, right? But I was, in all seriousness, considering subscribing to Hulu and then setting my VPN to the United States to watch it, which is just so stupid and so elaborate to watch a show that used to be on my like own streaming services that I have in my country. Like, it's so stupid to have to pay for a streaming service that is not even available in my country, and then have to turn my VPN on to a different country to watch a show. Like, it's so elaborate. It's dumb. I really want it to just be available for me to watch normally, you know. Yeah, but I was considering doing that, but then I figured that it would be really stupid, so I'm not gonna do that. And it's also just really expensive. And another show that I've really been wanting to watch in the new season of recently is the show Abbott Elementary, which is so fun to me. I really like it. It's a sitcom that is set in like a public school in the United States, in Philadelphia to be exact, and it's really like cool, and it's a great exploration of what it's like to be a teacher in an underfunded school and whatnot. And I find it very entertaining and very endearing, so I really want to watch the third season, which is currently airing, and I was so excited for it to come out. And I knew that it was gonna premiere on like, I think the 7th of February, so a little over a month ago, but apparently that's only in the US, and it's not gonna come on like a European streaming services for quite a while. I don't think it's coming on here until the season is done airing in the US, so that's really sad. It could be a few months from now. I don't know when it's gonna stop airing, so I was just really disappointed in that, because I was really looking forward to watching it in February, but then I just could not. So that was sad, but I'm still very excited to watch it, and I hope that I will get to see it soon. Have you guys seen Abbott Elementary? It's very cool. I like it a lot, and I definitely recommend giving it a watch if you have not already. But the show that I'm currently watching is The Bear, and I feel like I'm so late to the party, because everyone was talking about it last summer when season 2 came out, and probably also when season 1 came out, whenever that was. I don't remember, but I just remember that everyone was hyped about it last summer, and I did not watch it at that point, but I just started watching it not too long ago, and I'm not done with it. I'm not done with season 2 yet, so don't spoil it. That's so mean, you know? But yeah, I did actually start watching it last summer, or like I tried to start it because I had heard so much good stuff about it, but then I turned it on and I was like, this is so overwhelming, and I found it very visually challenging to watch because so many things are happening on the screen all at once, and it was just kind of overwhelming. And I was just like sitting there by myself and like casually trying to watch it while I was also using my phone, and I feel like it's just not the type of show that you're supposed to watch when you are just like paying 50% attention to it, I guess. I feel like it's the type of show that requires and also deserves your full attention when you're watching it. So that's how I'm doing it now, and my mom and I recently started watching it together. So that's really fun, and I definitely recommend watching it if you are the same as me and you have not watched it yet, even though it's super popular, and at least it was super like hyped last summer. But yeah, I think it's very good, although I don't think you should watch it if you are kind of like sensitive to very like vulgar language, because these people have some potty mouths, man. Let me tell you, I think they say the F word probably on average like 50 times per episode. It's a little bit excessive, but I don't mind it. I think it's fine, and it might be realistic for what it's like in a restaurant in like a not so nice area in Chicago. I don't know what that's like. I have no experience in that area, so I have no real life experience being there, so I have no idea, but it might be very realistic, and I think it's a very good show. It's very well done and I like it. So yeah, I'm on season 2 right now, and before the show started, the main character Carmen apparently worked at Noma, which is like a very, very fancy restaurant in Copenhagen, and they keep talking about Copenhagen and also Noma, which is like so weird for me because, okay, you might relate to this if you are also from a very small country that is not spoken about very often, but it really like catches me off guard whenever they mention my city and whenever they mention Noma, because I'm like, that's my city, that's my thing, you know. It's really weird, and it's a lot. I can't really describe how it makes me feel, but if you also like are in the same boat as me and you are from a small country or just like from a place in the world that is not really spoken about that much in TV and like pop culture, then you also get like super surprised and like caught off guard whenever they mention your place and where you're from. It's just so weird, and it's kind of fun, and I quite like it, and also it's just kind of odd because I'm like, that's my city, you know. Yeah, anyway, and then in season 2, one of the characters, Marcus, he actually went to Copenhagen, so the entire episode almost was in Copenhagen, and it was kind of like a weird episode in my opinion, because there were a lot of shots from the city, and Marcus also was like outside just roaming around a little bit. He was mainly in the place that he was working in, like this restaurant he was at, but also he was like outside in the city. But it was so weird to me because literally in most of these shots no people were around, and I feel like it just kind of gave off this impression that Copenhagen is a largely deserted and unpopulated city, and I'm just here to tell you all that that's not true. That is in fact false advertisement. So yeah, if you like saw that show and you were like, oh my god, Copenhagen seems very deserted, and then you travel here and you're like, oh my god, there are so many people, then don't be shocked, because that's actually how it is. But yeah, there are a lot of people in this city, and it's not deserted. So yeah, that is certainly false advertisement. No, I'm kidding. But I think that most of the shots are of Marcus when he's out in the city at night, so that's why there aren't really that many people around. But it was like completely empty, and you know, it's a big city, so there are always people outside on the street, and it's never just completely empty. So I did think that was pretty weird, and I think he only ever interacted with one person from Denmark in the episode, so that was a little bit odd. But yeah, it was still fun to see my city in the show. It was so weird, and it caught me off guard because I was not expecting that. So I'm just mentioning all of that to give you the PSA that if you are ever in Copenhagen and you expect to be alone here, then that's not going to be the case, because we do have human beings in Copenhagen. At least I'm here, so me and Marcus are here. Those are who you're gonna run into, I suppose. That's so stupid. But yeah, also the bike guy, the one that got injured on his bike, that was like such a weird scene though. I don't really know what the point was in that, because the only person from the city that he interacted with in the episode was this guy who had gotten injured on his bike, and he was stuck under this fence thing. And it was really weird because Marcus was like talking to him, but he never responded to Marcus, and I don't know why, because he was helping him, and like everyone here understands and at least speaks a little bit of English, so he would have absolutely been able to say a few words. I mean, it was like a nice scene because Marcus helped him out from under this fence, and then the man hugged him afterwards, but he never said a single word. So I don't know if I just didn't really understand what was going on, but that was weird to me. Really weird. And also the only chef that was in the restaurant he was in was a British guy. Like, why did you not get a Danish actor to act when he was in Copenhagen? I don't understand that. Like, what was the point in getting that guy? I forget what his name is, the actor's name, but yeah, he's like that one guy who was in Midsummer and also Worthy Millers. Is that what it's called? That one movie from many years ago, and he's probably been in a lot of other things, but those are the things that I've seen him in. Yeah, anyway, whatever. I guess I don't really have much time left to tell you about other shows and movies and whatnot that I've been watching, but those are the shows that I've been watching lately. At least the Bears. I have not seen Superstore or Abbott Elementary because I have not been able to. It's really not that big of a deal, but yeah, anyway, that is a little bit annoying. So if you have any like recommendations for me or anything that you have been watching lately and you want to discuss that, please do in the comment section if you want to. But yeah, other than that, thank you also so much for watching. I hope you did enjoy this video. If you did, please do give it a little thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you aren't subscribed already and you enjoy my content. I would really appreciate it. And also you can of course download these houses on my gallery page. My ID on there is LacyLena, exactly like my YouTube channel. But yeah, besides all of that, I hope you're having an amazing day, and then I cannot wait to see you all in my next video that I will be posting in just a few days. So bye everybody!